going into the next circle here in just a little bit. It's going to start the last Salty Spring. It's going to be the point of interest for all of our players here. Got a lot of bodies that are going to be lingering outside. Some that are even as far out as Dusty did it, like on the northern end of it, sticking around there. So maybe trying to get some last-minute loot, perhaps. We'll have to see.
Here is Parpy looking for that peak. Molks and Parpy always tend to stay together, but wait. Shockwave right there. He did try to sneak his way into the build. He takes the wall. What are you going to do with it? Crew's still looking for the replacement here. He gets it on land, takes the wall. 184. Crew's excitement. You can feel it from here. That was a huge shot. With the new tactical shotgun, the legendary.
That's right. When you're feeling it, man. He went right for the fight. Ambitious, the young player there from Sweden. 15 years of age, man. And he's playing for millions of dollars. So many of these players. They're just young ones. We have a lot of young fans here in the arena today. Maybe next year this could be them. And then you got a few of the veterans. Sexro, Vinny, saw Nate Hill, as well as Funk Mongrel, Mitro, Aiden there in the corner of the screen. And back over to our Game 2 winners, Sexro and Vinny. No eliminations to their name thus far. I mentioned Wolfie's aggro controller player. He went right for Nyx and to take him out on that one.
Yeah, I definitely want to see Wolfie hopefully catch some more highlights before the weekend's over. Touch base with him. He's a great kid, definitely enthusiastic about being here at the World Cup, and he feels totally prepared. He's ready to represent. He's one of the few controller players to actually qualify for this weekend. This is a big weekend for a lot of players, obviously, clearly. Here you have Cease and Elevate. They haven't found the rhythm.
They've been a little quiet, man. They won WSOE, a great duo that has had success in the past, but this has just not been their game so far. Got to get something to turn it around. The talent is certainly there. I think I saw someone on the Fortnite competitive Reddit mention, why is no one talking about Cease and Elevate? And I think it's just important to note that in order for us to talk about it, they got to start doing some things. And I think Games 1 and 2 has not been their game.
Yeah, and I mean, we were there in the warm-up rounds. A lot of players were not necessarily revealing strategy, but whoa, that's a huge shot on Ziff right there as Mitro sends one flying down the field right there.
Sent him packing. Dear me. All right, so back into the action at hand. We're gonna have 36 duos left in this. Notable names, obviously, Mega and Dubs. Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage. A lot of people in the crowd popped for Benji Fishy when he walked out, as well as Mr. Savage. For due reason, this is a stupendous duo. The double snipe combination from Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage.
Big shot right there. These double snipes, you gotta be careful. There's no standing still in a box here because you might eat one right there. They line up another.
That's right.
Not quite successful that time around, but hey, all damage matters. Storm Surge, you want to be dealing damage. You cannot stay idle. There are no free passes at the World Cup.
Look what happened in Game 1, man. The Storm Surge claimed a lot of victims. You have to be engaging in fights. You cannot stay still. There's Fwexy and Letwick on the move. Nyrox right behind him. Cooler organization. Benji Fishy's going to be down. Just saw that one off on the side. Mr. Savage now having to deal with a player that had engaged on him. Going to get built above. He just needs to wait this one out here, but Benji does get cleaned up. Yeah, that was going to be Fwexy.
And that was such a sneaky ambush right there. He used the shadow bomb, pushed up. Notice Benji was kind of over-peeking, harassing players with that sniper. You cannot hold down scope right there. He ate a shotgun to the face, and that's why Benji goes down. And I love what Savage did here. He just went for high ground. He had to immediately get out of there and leave his duo behind. So what can Mr. Savage do? One of the best mechanical players here today. What can he do by himself?
Not going to be easy. Not with a lobby like this. At this point in time, he's really just looking to play the keep away game. Maybe he can pick off a player with that heavy sniper, get an elimination for himself. They have 1 point right now, and they're nowhere near getting the placement points currently. He's still looking to harass some players. Put some pressure on them. Now you see that half in, half out circle. And two duos are going to be inside of there. So everyone's going to have to start to move over to that east side. It's going to be a struggle for so many players. They're starting to make the moves right now. They want to try and gatekeep, prevent these players from getting inside.
This is a team we want to watch right now during this rotation. Mongrel and Mitro, they are masters at executing, especially when they have mobility like this to cut across the field. They are on the hunt right now, and there's no reason for them to rush. Once they spot out someone, they're gonna pounce. They're gonna jump on that target.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for you to make that mistake. And with the nerves at an all-time high here, players are certainly gonna make that error in judgment. Saw it happen in scrims when we were looking at players just getting warmed up. So much at stake here, but there's the launch pad. It's going to go out now. Need to be wary of getting beamed in the sky. So many times you think that you're just going to be sailing away with no problem, not a care in the world, and then you just end up losing all of your shields, all of your HP, and then that's it. You're done.
I've seen it countless number of times. People tweet out, you know, you fly across, you get taken out the sky, but it's all about timing. Neither Mitro nor Mongrel was shot once on that rotation, and it was masterfully done right there. And whoa, it looks like they're tracking so beautifully. Catches someone trying to just kind of rotate on by in a shadow bomb, but that was not enough.
You were not safe from the shadows there, buddy. Another thing, too, was that when they were out of position for a brief moment, the way that they were able to just get back together, right? That patience with one another, the communication, you need to have it when you're getting down to these final moments. 25 duos are going to still be standing here. You got Calculator and Macwood. They're going to have that high ground up above. You shouldn't be comfortable just yet, because anything can happen here. Look at where that next circle is going to be going. Moves need to be made.
With that RPG, I mean, they can basically take high ground at any given moment that they want nor choose. Calculator looking around, already on 4 eliminations for Macwood. Macwood did say he's the fragger of the duo. We'll see if Calculator can keep up right now. I am just poking good fun because Calculator loves to talk a big game on the social medias.
He really does, man. He's a character without a doubt. But right now, there's no fun in games to be had. This is Game 3 of the Fortnite World Cup Finals. It's time to put up or shut up for a lot of these players.
Look at that, wasting no extra mats. They do not waste more than they have to.
This was earlier on in elimination onto Mongrel and Mitro. There you have it, out of the game once again. That duo, European powerhouse, gonna pay there to Dubs and Mega.
So far, so good. Macwood again just holding this positioning right here. He is gonna get blocked out of his teammate accidentally, but it's all good. This is still his ground to control right now. They have clear control of the skies here.
And they have a ton of builds to work with as well, Monster. 4 eliminations for Macwood. A great game for him thus far. That's 4 points for this duo, but he's going to be taking some shots. Has to be careful there. There you can see the lay of the land, Monster.
Yes, the placement thresholds will be divvied out soon. There goes the Storm Surge already ringing down on players. Jay has to make a big move. Doesn't matter. Zayt is going to wrap up right here as Keys goes down as well. And the shots are flying. And you can just look at the overhead, the chaos that's going on in the mid-ground specifically.
And look who's still in this, Saf. They're going to be in first place. If they keep this going, another dominant game for them, another high-placing game could be the difference maker to keep them in that first place position. Up on the high ground, Calculator and Macwood putting down shots yet again, not giving players any moment to be comfortable whatsoever. Look at the names that are here, though. The Rockets now starting to fly by Wolfies. Wolfies having to defend himself. Zayt's going to be out of this one. So now it's going to be up to Saf, and Saf, he had to see his teammate go down, but his back's going to be to the Storm there. Now looking at Mega, who's waiting this one out. He knows on the right side of your screen, you can see it down low, that these players, they're going to try and force their way into his box, so he has to play defense. He has to disengage, and there's Saf, who just lost his teammate Zayt. Now he's going to be running this one solo, and then up above, it's Macwood and Calculator. This whole time, they picked up 3 eliminations from that whole exchange, Monster.
That's exactly where you want to be. They're still putting this pressure down, and Saf is looking for one, but it's Vinny who's going to take him out right there. So Vinny's going to find his first elimination, and he has so much health. He is in the game right now, although by himself because Zextro is down. And now Oslo, Bad Sniper, one of the few duos that are still left in this game right here. Arkham somehow, with a masterful rotation, he's still in as well. Bad Snipers at 11 eliminations with Oslo here.
Wow, unreal stuff. Bad Sniper is going to be out out of this one. Macwood and Calculator still owning high ground on the mid. Down below, Dubs and Mega, one of the premier duos here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Could they get the high ground and wrestle the control away from Calculator and Macwood? Oslo waiting for Vinny. You can see that engagement down low, but we got to focus on what's going on above here, because Macwood and Calculator, they have their eyes on Dubs and Mega, and they do not want to give them that freedom to dictate where they want to go. They want to try and pinch them. Arkrum just eliminated Vinny on that, and it's going to be Oslo and Arkrum down low, but you're going to have a clash, a 2v2 in the high and in the mid ground, and Dubs and Mega feeling that pressure, needing to just dial back here, wait a minute, because I think what they're doing is they're just trying to see if they're going to run out of builds potentially. I mean, the play here certainly has just been defense, defense, defense.
Yes, that's right. Oslo's now left by himself. All he has to do is time this firefight, so long as he doesn't bother them. But Dubs and Mega try to go for the high ground and make a fatal error. They fall to the low here, Golden Boy.
This isn't looking good there. Mega and Dubs, they have the low ground, the ultimate low ground. Oslo's going to be outside, but they get the elimination. Calculator and Macwood, they're holding the high ground, and that's the victory royale. Macwood pops off in game 3. 7 eliminations for him, 2 for Calculator, 9 total, plus the victory royale. 19 points for that duo. Crushed it.
There was just something about the loadout, seeing that RPG once they already were holding the best point, the high ground. You just knew pressure, and that's what Macwood did there. What was it, 7 eliminations? Hey, shout out to Calculator too. He got a couple at the end.
Yeah, he had his back. Most importantly, Dubs and Mega constantly playing that defense. Credit to Macwood and Calculator for the way that they continue to apply the pressure. And then it was the shock, sending them down low, forcing them into that engagement. Credit to Oslo now, who threw traps instantly. Says he maybe can get a cheeky trap elimination. Didn't work out for him there, but a top 3 placing for him. Certainly got to be happy with that one. And then it came down to the final moment when Calculator and Macwood together were able to push his player with their combat shotties. Boom, that's the game. And look how happy they were there.
So good. Gotta love the reactions right there.
What a game that was. Had a little bit of a slow ramp up, you know? But that's what Fortnite will do to you. You're just talking, you're having a conversation about where the positioning is going to be, and then out of nowhere, boom, you're in the action, you're in the fight, and things start to get wild. Great game there for Macwood and Calculator. Calculator winning on the world stage, man. Look at that. Eat your heart out, Reddit.
I gotta say, you know, I'm sure he's proved a lot of people wrong, and you have to respect it.
Yeah.
But, Golden Boy, I want to see where we
That's
stand
right.
here.
Where are we right now? So at the top, it's still going to be Saf and Zate with 38 points. They have that victory royale from game 1 and 16 eliminations. Mega, Dubs, second place, looking pretty. No victory royales for them thus far. You saw Zexro and Vinny do the same thing, but it's Calculator and Macwood that jump up to 6th place. They have 22 points total, 12 eliminations in that game. They're finally in that top 10.
I want to take it one step further. Bad Sniper and Oslo jump up to 30 eliminations. They didn't have anything up until this point. They just had one great pop-off game. And suddenly they're in the running here. It is anyone's game in the top 10 because you have to be consistent. And again, there's always those wild cards, those pop-off moments. And here's a look at page 2. Any of these guys are still in the running right now.
You got Bell and Scarlet, who've been wrestled out of the top 10. The Japanese duo had a premier game in game number 1. Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage saw their demise earlier on. They're going to have 13 points there, but you saw the standings, and we're in game 3. And these games are going to be so critical. Games 3 and 4 really set that tone, because once you get into like game 5, a lot of players are going to be down low. Like, there's an opportunity for you to try and get your way into that top 20, which is where you're really going to start to get a lot in the prizing. But for the folks that are going to be sitting in top 10 right now, they're going to be feeling very nice about their current standings. For game 3 to be in 2nd place, Dubs and Mega, and then Saf and Zate still performing so well.
And that's the crazy part. Dubs and Mega, everyone has been rooting for them. They're like that wild card that came out of nowhere, and they really swept the competitive community hard lately.
That's right. So I did get word. We have Jordan standing by with our winners from game 3. Jordan, take it away.
NA really showing up and showing off today. It's amazing, seemingly tapping in that nail on the coffin. Such a please pardon the pun, I have to say, calculated game here from Calculator and Macwood. Guys, well matted, well utilized. You dominated high ground, seemingly all of that in-game there. Walk me through that process of getting that high ground, attaining, and then dominating for the rest of the game.
Well, we were able to pick up 2 lucky eliminations on that outer circle of 4th zone, I think it is, and we were able to use our mats to build up. We were lucky enough to get half and half, and we were able to just beam people out of the air, hold high, and got lucky with a couple zones.
Amazing. Well, I mean, again, you had 3 games left to go. The strategy, is it going to continue to shift around a little bit, or are you guys going to maintain what you've been working on thus far?
I didn't hear the question.
Strategy, maintaining thus far. You guys have a very calculated and very patient game, seemingly leading all the way up to the end of the end game. Right, walk me through your strategy for the end of the next 3 games.
Shoot them in the head.
Shoot them in the head. You heard it here first. Back to you, GV and Monster.
Calculator gets one opportunity to show the world his prowess and knowledge of Fortnite. He just says shoot them in the head. You gotta respect it.
You know, some people, it's just that simple, and hey man, maybe he's just wired that way, right? We're all wired a little differently. Calculator has clearly got his head on his shoulders, and he's ready to just shoot things.
Yeah, but Macwood was the one doing a bulk of the shooting in that last game. 7 eliminations for Macwood. He looked so great, and you would expect the young Calculator to be the one that leads the charge on slaying, but Macwood, man, holding it down. And let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I mean, you know, Macwood not that much older, right? But I think it's just important to note that you have to have teammates at any point in time to just pop off. Like, you need that. It's so necessary. Got to trust in your teammate. That's what makes a lot of these duos so successful.
Yes, I mean, we've seen it from the start of every round. Some teams are just more aggressive than others, and they know how to stick together.
A lot of great moments in that game, and good news for us is that we got Sundown standing by to break it all down. Sundown, over to you.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy and Monster. Now, we talked about Safe and Zat. We just got to talk with Macwood and Calculator, but Dubs and Mega had an incredible game from the early into the mid that they transitioned into a top 2 performance. So let's dive right on in and see what allowed to make them into the top 3. First, notice their elims in the bottom corner, but the rifle fire together. The second they see the shield is down, able to pick up 1. Mega is the one who is leading the charge here. He picks up all 4 of their first elims. You can see Waller plays down, and the trap is so intelligent. Double ticks going through, places the ramp so it's phased, knowing the yellow is there, pushes in 2 more elims, chugs flashes. Dubs stays up with just barely enough HP, and you can see he's trying to trap the floor every single time. Gets the mid-ground control. 5th elim for Mega. We talked about how high their ceiling was, unfortunately using the shockwave to go down and end up at a low ground disadvantage. Calculator and Macwood able to ride it out, but now Mega and Dubs have pushed into that top 3, challenging to be the first ever World Championship duo. The team who has possibly the highest ceiling, full qualified solos and duos. The question is, in the last half, the last 3 games, will they be able to keep it up? Will NA stay on top? Will Serpent and Hype represent Oceania and upset the apple cart? I'm about ready to see some hype myself. Let's throw it back inside for the last 3 games. Gentlemen, take it away.
Well, if you want hype, got you covered, baby, because these games have been incredible. And if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome to the Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. We're in the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Game 3 just concluded. We had 3 different winners across 3 different games. This is our duos competition. These players are playing for a lot of money in prizing. So much on the line here. Lives will change forever after today for those players. And some of the folks you're seeing on your screen right now in, well, I would say in a different situations than they would find themselves in. You got Vinny and Zextro, they're right there. Satan Sap, 3 games in, still holding on to first place. It has been wild stuff. Welcome, I'm Golden Boy alongside with Monster D-Phase here, and it's been a great day. There's nothing more that you could possibly say about it. And as I had mentioned before, the prizing, the money that these guys are battling it out for, this is it. First place will take home $3 million. Second place gets $2.2 million. Like, that's just absurd. You get in the, where is this here?
4 millionaires 4 millionaire duos before the weekend is over, not to mention all the fame and clout that comes with it. So I think you'll be pretty well off at that point, but everyone's a winner here. We're here to celebrate all of the competitors that made it this far to the Fortnite World Cup final stage, because those 10 weekends of qualifications were not easy.
Yeah, when you get into 10th place, that's where you really start to rack up the coin. But game 4 now about to begin. Here we go, folks. Let's see who's going to come out on top. We've had 3 different winners, but our top performers have been consistent through and through. Are we going to see a repeat winner? Are we going to get a new one to add to the list? It's now time. The battle bus is loaded up. Let's start game 4.
And you know what? Every game so far, we've seen a new winner. I love that. Same thing with the Pro-Am. There was always some new duo showing that, hey, we've been playing this game. We're ready to take a victory. Everyone here has the potential to come out on top, and you see it unfold in those final moments.
Throughout the weekend, we've been doing interviews, meeting with fans, and talking to people, and a lot of folks have asked, who do you think is going to win? And I know it sounds like a cop-out answer, but I'm very real with you all. I have no freaking idea because it truly is up. It's up in the air. This is a battle royale game. At any point in time, you can have Macwood and Calculator just having the game of their lives in game 3, and now look, boom, they're going to be sitting in the top 10. I mean, how do you even predict that?
We nearly saw it with Zay and Saf. I think anyone with good logic can clearly put their money on people that have had prior experience, but even that is not enough, because Macwood and Calculator showing that, hey, you know what? We don't even need that. We're here to slay.
Dubs and Mega, they're in 2nd place. They made their names in these qualifiers that led us up to this point. They did not find themselves in land. This is the first time these young men are up there playing on this stage. When I was their age, I couldn't even believe that I would be capable of doing something like that. And they're doing it, and they're doing it with style. And then to make matters worse for everyone else in the server, they've been so consistent, deadly through and through.
Yeah, that's right. And they're in 2nd place, no victory royale. So just showing that if you step to their box, you're gonna get hurt. We saw Mega with a masterful, and I mean beautiful performance under Storm Surge pressure. He didn't even blink an eye, still fighting other players, fighting his way out of that desperate situation. Volks and Parpy, let's just hop into this duo right here. We'll talk about him a little bit. They are known for sticking to the hip in PvP. Earlier today, we saw Volks get traded out, but it wasn't just like an easy trade. They were actually winning the engagement up until that point, just showing that they have the skill. And that's the OCE region, right? One of the most feared regions here at the qualifiers, because of the fact that you just had to get a ton of elims. You had to be #1 in the region.
When talking to players, I would ask them, what are you looking to avoid? And every time, if it was, you know, the NAU players, they would say, I'm just trying to avoid OCE or Brazil. I don't want to have to deal with that, because they play the hyper aggro style, and they just don't care who you are. They're going to go for the fight.
I mean, you saw Scarlet and Bell in that first game. I truly thought they were going to take the whole thing. It was so close.
Even Sinnoh in the Pro-Am yesterday, another top player
in the Asian
region, finished 2nd. And he was just, I know it's a Pro-Am, obviously a different competition there, but he was just going into boxes. He didn't care, not a care in the world for them. Now Volks and Parpy do find a player above here, right by the jet stream.
And he hit him once for whites already, so that means there is no shield on that player. You can have up to 100 effective shield. That player's dangerously weak, and folks are just keeping an eye on him. He doesn't know if he's slipped out already, and he says, you know what, I'm gonna go back to my teammate. It's a little too risky getting split up here.
Yeah, play for the mid to late game in this situation now, but 7SSK is gonna be dealing once again with Spades and Crimson. It seems like just a constant for them. They cannot seem to win out on this fight. Crimson's going to be down, though, so the advantage could be going in the favor of Jamside and 7SSK. Spades going to have the high ground, now having to deal with a 1v2. Does he have what it takes to pull this one off? He doesn't own that wall. He has no more builds to work with as well. They're going to push out, and Spades couldn't deal with it, and that's going to be the win there for those two.
You would think for Jamside and SSK, like, hey, you know, we've been landing here, haven't been successful. Do you mix it up? They say, nah, I'm going to stick to my guns here, because everyone's a winner, regardless.
The VP boys coming out on top. Week 6 qualifiers for them.